everyone, it's Sarah, which means you're watching Tuesdays on What the Gays Say. So this week we are looking back at our childhood and talking about any signs that we now see that would have indicated us being gay or becoming gay. The first thing that comes to my mind is the way I dressed, and I know that's not an indication at all of anyone's sexuality, but it was a huge deal for me, and yeah, I'm not wearing pants, so that's weird. For about 4 years of my life, from about 5th grade to 8th grade, I only wore boys' clothes. I would only buy boys' pants and boys' t-shirts, and I would only wear boys' clothes. There are pictures of me dressing up in my dad's old clothes. I really liked boy clothes. I felt more comfortable in boys' clothes, and I know that's not an indication of people and their sexuality. A lot of girls wear guy clothes, but for me, I felt very comfortable with boys' clothes. And I think that that was the first sign that I wasn't exactly the same as everyone else. But now to get into the more gay signs. I was a huge fan of the Spice Girls growing up, and I loved their music, I loved their message of girl power and everything like that, but I had a slight, I wouldn't say obsession, because now I'm obsessed with Naya Rivera, and it wasn't to this extent, but I had a slight intense admiration for Jerry Halliwell, who is Ginger Spice. I loved everything about her. I loved her voice, I loved her face, I loved her outfits, because her outfits were very risque. Like, she showed off a lot of what she had going on. I would always catch myself staring at her when she performed, and I don't know why, and I didn't understand. I even bought her solo album. Like, I had such a deep, like, awe, and, like, I wanted to be her. Now looking back on it, it was a crush, basically. I had a crush on this celebrity. I didn't have crushes on, like, Brad Pitt or Johnny Depp. It was Jerry Halliwell. Another very clear pinpoint sign was in 2006, I was 13, and the music video for Cassie, I think that's her name, Cassie's song Me and You came out, and if you haven't seen the music video or don't remember it, it's not that special. It's basically she's just dancing in front of this mirror, kind of provocatively, kind of hip-hoppy, but it's just her dancing the entire time. And the first time I ever saw that video, I was in a trance. Like, the entire time I was watching it, I was just like the way she was dancing, the way her body was moving, I was getting these tinglies. It was so weird, and I would go home and I would rewatch it and like make sure no one was around when I was watching it, because I was just like, I couldn't stop watching the way this girl was moving and like what she was doing with her body, and I felt so embarrassed by it. Like, no one knew that I had this obsession with this music video, and it's pretty embarrassing to talk about now, but back then I couldn't help it, and I kept watching it, and I didn't know why. I couldn't stop watching it. So that's embarrassing. Two other very clear examples. In middle school, I had a huge crush on one of my coaches. She and I, we became friends. We talked outside of volleyball and basketball, and I just grew to be so attracted to her. You know, she was very athletic looking, and she was very sweet to me and everything, and I was young and naive, and I grew attached to her, and I'd always want her to notice me, and I'd always want her to talk to me, and it was a huge crush. I talked about this in my coming out video, I think. In high school, I was a freshman, and this girl was a senior, and I was constantly staring at her. I thought she was the most beautiful thing in the entire world. Like, I would always try to make sure that, like, we would cross paths in band or anything like that, and I was just obsessed with her, and I didn't know why I was feeling this way. No one knew that I liked her like this, and that definitely is a big sign of my gayness. Did anyone ever see the 2001 movie Saving Silverman with Jason Biggs, Jack Black, Amanda Peet? There's one scene in that movie in itself is ridiculous, but there's one scene where the guy is feeding Amanda Peet's character a burger, and it, like, the stuff, like, I don't know what it is, mayonnaise or something, drops in between her breasts, and she becomes very seductive and provocative. That one scene I would always rewatch, because I thought that she was incredibly sexy, and that entire scene just, like, made me get all excited. And that was in 2001, so that means that I was 8 years old, and I was constantly watching that scene. And once again, no one had a clue that I kept watching it. I kept I think it was on VHS. I kept it in my room, and I would just keep playing it in over and over and over again. And the musical Rent, I love musicals, and Rent is one of my favorite musicals, and when I saw it on Broadway, I was really young, and we had terrible seats, so I couldn't really tell what was going on, but when I saw the movie, the Joanne and Maureen scenes, I was always so like, yeah, they're lesbians, and that's so cool, and I like that so much, and I was so intrigued, and I would rewatch those scenes over and over again. Basically, what I'm trying to say is if there was ever an attractive girl or a lesbian scene in any movie or TV show, I would constantly rewatch it, and I would only be staring at the girl or both the girls. Like, if I found something that made me feel really good inside or whatever, I would always rewatch it. Now, those are very specific examples. There were the general examples of, like, when I'd be playing house with my friends or whatever, I'd always be the dad or the husband, things like that. But, like, the very distinct ones that I can remember are the ones I just said, and there are a few others, but we can't go down that road. But overall, there were definitely a lot of signs, a lot of little things that just continuously added up to where I am today and in love with Naya Rivera. Like Mary said in her video yesterday, we are holding auditions for extra subs. So if you want to be a part of the channel, if you would like to be one of our subs in case one of the members cannot make a video, submit a video to the WhatTheGaysSay.tumblr.com submit box, and we would love to have you be a part of this channel. I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you all next Tuesday.